Welcome to the final part of the 5-part video series on A to Z PowerPoint tips, tricks and hacks. I am Ramgopal from presentationprocess.com. We share creative PowerPoint ideas to help professionals like you create engaging presentations. U is for Ungroup Icons. PowerPoint allows you to ungroup 3 types of image files. They are SVG, WMF and EMF. When you use the recent version of PowerPoint, like in Microsoft 365, you can insert icons onto your slides directly from within PowerPoint. Very few presenters are aware that they can ungroup those icons, colorize them and customize them to suit their requirements. Let me insert the icons by going to Insert Icons, and I can choose from a whole range of icons available here. Let us say I want to show process. I can search for a specific keyword and hit enter, and I have various options available. Let us say I want to choose this one. I can say insert and I have the icon placed on my slide. I can always increase the size while holding the proportion by holding the shift button. Now you can see I can use this icon quite nicely to depict a circular process. Now I can take this icon to the next level by ungrouping it. All you need to do for that is to select this, right click and go to Convert to Shape option. Now that will break the icon to its individual pieces. Now I can colorize the individual pieces and customize them to suit my needs. For example, here I want to give this a different color, say teal color, and I want to write the number 1, which is inside, and I can have this center aligned, and I can always change the font type. And can you see here, now I have 1. And if I want to apply the same format to the other ones, I can do so as well by going to Home and Format Painter, and I'm going to double click on it. If you remember, we've talked about Format Painter while talking about the letter F. Now I'm going to click on this and click on this. So now I can write my numbers inside and they will all have the same property as this one. Let me hit Escape so I can get my cursor back. Here I'm going to write 2 and here I'm going to write 3. If I want to change the color, I can go here and choose a different color, and I can choose a different color for this. The same way, if I want to animate them, I can select these 2 elements and press Ctrl G to group them, and I can select these 2 and press Ctrl G. Now I can have animation happening for this circular process. I have selected 1, 2 and 3 elements. Go to animations and I'm going to say a simple fade animation. Now let me go to animation pane and say all these are going to happen on click. When I go to slideshow, this is the way I would present the information. Here we have one element on the slide. It leads to the second element and to the third element, which in turn leads to the first element, making the circle happen. Now can you see here we have created a custom diagram completely from an icon available right inside PowerPoint. So the next time you want to use icons in your presentation, spruce them up a bit by adding some color and customization. Another way to make your slides sizzle is to use professional PowerPoint templates. If you create high impact presentations where the result of your presentation influences your career or business, then I highly recommend that you consider our hugely popular templates collection called Comprehensive All-in-One PowerPoint Templates Bundle. It's a smart way to create professional looking slides quickly and with minimal effort. Link is in the description box below. V is for Insert Video from YouTube. Sometimes when you make an informational presentation, you wish you could show some additional information like a YouTube video right inside your presentation. Is it possible to embed a YouTube video onto your slides? Yes, you can, and I'll show you how simple it is to do so. All you need to do for that is to first decide on the video you want to show on your slides. In this case, I have decided to show this video called How I Created Animated Video in PowerPoint. Once I have the video open, I can go to the address bar and I can copy the address. All I need to do for that is to select the address, press Ctrl C, which is the shortcut for copy. Then I can go back to my presentation and here I go to Insert, go to Video, click on the drop down menu and I can choose this option here called Online Video. When I click on that, I get this dialog box. Here I have the option to enter the address for the online video. I can choose to show videos from any of these sources. Since I want to show a YouTube video, I can click on this and press Ctrl V, which is the shortcut for paste. Here you can see a preview of the video. This is exactly the video I want to use. I can say insert, and that instantly inserts the video onto my slide. If I want to increase the size, I can place it over here, hold the shift button down and increase the size like so. Then I can go to slideshow and I can click on this and that would play the YouTube video. So the next time you want to create an informational presentation, make it even more useful for your audience by adding a relevant YouTube video onto your slides. W is for watermark. Do you know that you can watermark your slides with your logo or any text that you desire? Let me show you how it is done. Let us say you have a slide deck with these 3 slides. Let us pretend that this is your proprietary information and you want to protect it by adding your branded logo as watermark on every slide. All you need to do for that is to go to View, go to Slide Master and go all the way up, and this is the first one called as Master Slide. Now here I am going to insert the watermark. First, let me go to Insert, Pictures and go to this device because that is where I have stored my logo. When I go down, I can see that I have the option for my logo here. Let me click on this one and say Insert. Now this is Presentation Process logo. Now you can see that this is way too dominant, and if this were to be on the background of every slide, then it can be quite a big distraction for the audience. So I need to make this into a washed down version. So select the picture, go to Picture Format, go to Color, and here in Recolor, you have this option called as Washout. Let me click on that. Here you can see that my logo is there, but it is not in such a distracting way. Now I can go to Slide Master, go to Close Master View. Now I have that logo available on every slide as the background. Now when I go to the first slide, you can see I have the logo available here. Second slide, and on the third slide it is not visible because I've got a picture on top of it. Now let us say instead of using a branded logo, I want to use a word called confidential as the background on every slide. How can I do that? Let me go to the same view, Slide Master, go to the master slide. I'm going to remove this one here. Instead, I want to add the word confidential. Let me go to Home. I can go to the text box tool and I can write the word here. Let me choose a bolder font. Let me increase the font size to the level that I want. Then I'm going to make it really light. So let us go to the font option, go to More Colors, and here I can go to Custom and I can reduce the intensity of the color. Maybe something as light as this and say OK. Now you can see that the text is really light. Now I can change the orientation. I can rotate this like this. If I want, I can increase the size even more and make it even lighter by right clicking and going to Format Shape, and by going to Text options here and choosing Text Fill and by increasing the transparency. So this is another way you can make your text lighter. Now I've got that done. Now I can go back to Slide Master and close Master View. Now you can see on every slide I have this word confidential appearing in the background, and that is exactly the effect I want. So that is how you add watermark to your slides. Now let's deal with the next 2 alphabets, X and Y. It was quite difficult to find tools that started with these alphabets. So we decided to include 2 useful shortcuts that incorporated these 2 letters. So let us learn what Ctrl X and Ctrl Y do. Ctrl X is the shortcut for cut. You can select a shape, use Ctrl X and you can cut it. Now that shape is in the clipboard of the computer. At any point of time you want to recall the same shape, you can use another shortcut called Ctrl V and that pastes it back. You can do the same thing for text as well. Select the text, press Ctrl X and then Ctrl V to paste. You can even cut and paste slides across presentations, and this shortcut called Ctrl X is pretty much universal. All Microsoft products use Ctrl X for cut, and even other graphic programs use Ctrl X for cut. Alright, what is Ctrl Y? Ctrl Y is for redo. We all know what undo is. Let us say we have this text selected and we want to change the font color. We have performed an action. If you want to undo the action, I can press the shortcut called Ctrl Z. Now, this is a shortcut that everybody knows. What very few people know is there is a shortcut for redo. That is, to re-perform the action that has been undone. Now, let us use Ctrl Y, and you can see that the action that was undone is now recovered back. So, Ctrl Y is the shortcut for redo. And it can come in quite handy, especially when you want to design complex diagrams. Z or Z is for zoom in slideshow mode. Let us say you have a complex engineering drawing to show on your slide. Naturally, the image will have a lot of details and text. When you have an image with so many details, it becomes difficult for the audience, especially the ones that are seated right at the back, to see those details. Fortunately, PowerPoint makes it easy for you to zoom into the details of your image when you are in the slideshow mode. To zoom into the slide, all you need to do is to go to the slideshow mode, and here we have the option called magnifying glass. When you click on it, you get this option. Wherever you click, that specific portion is zoomed in. Now your audience can see all the details quite nicely. Once you are done, you can pan across the entire slide like so. And once you are done, you can hit escape and the normal slideshow resumes. There is even a shortcut that allows you to do it even better. And that is, you hold the Control button and then you use the scroll wheel on your mouse. Now, as I scroll up, you can see I can increase the zoom. And as I scroll down, I can reduce the zoom level. So when you make a technical presentation with images that have fine details, this specific function can come in quite handy. So did you like the tips? For the other tips in this short video series, we created a handy playlist that is shown right here. These tips can save you a lot of time and make you look like a PowerPoint genius. So go ahead, click on the link and start watching the playlist right now.